How do you know good stereo? I got a lot of help from this free fact book I picked up at my Yamaha audio dealer. Gives you comparisons between Yamaha audio and its competitors. Tells you why it's significant that Yamaha exceeds even its own specifications. And Yamaha audio gives a 5-year parts and labor warranty on most models. So I figured Yamaha deserved a listen. And man, it really delivered. Yamaha audio.
Get Hazel on a beat.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You're making it complicated. It's easy.
I know they don't like me. They scared.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Synopsis. Thanks for tuning in. We've been gone for a little while, but we just want to make the quality better. We kind of got some feedback, and so now here we are. We're trying to make it better for you guys.
Yeah, we took some time off, spending time with our family during the winter, but we're glad to be back. We have a little special video to bring to you guys first. I'll let Shalvo tell you guys what we're up to.
All right, so today we're hitting my vinyl collection, just kind of discussing each of them and rating them from 1 to 10. We're going to give both of our opinions and try to kind of find a medium and where we could rate this album between both of our opinions. All right, so first we got R.I.P. to Mac Miller, but we got Watching Movies with the Sound Off, the classic album of Mac Miller, and this is one of my favorite records that I own.
Yeah, Watching Movies, it was a special album for me. I remember when it came out, I had an Android at the time, and I had downloaded the song off of the Google Play Store. First album I've ever bought. I think Mac, this was my personal Mac peak. I thought Macadelic was amazing, and then this being his best studio album for me personally. It has great songs and great features. Schoolboy's in it. Action Bronson with the Red Dot Music, an amazing song. Earl is in it. And then I think Tyler's in it as well. I think it was a well put together album. Very rappy. You know, this is the rap. This is the Mac that I've known to love. You know, I've saw him evolve from the rapper, the backpack rapper in Kids, and then up to this point, he, you know, just expanding his horizons.
Yeah, I could agree with you on that. This is like Mac's best just full grit rap album because this is really showing me this is a really good like rap album as a whole. He's got features like Earl Sweatshirt. He's got Schoolboy Q on it. He's got Action Bronson. Like Earl is so hard to get a feature with, and even though this is like back then when Earl was more active in the game, Earl was still hard to get a feature with. Like you have to really be spitting to get an Earl feature, and this album is just a really strong album for me, and so I probably got to rate it about 8.5.
8.5?
8.5.
That's a good rating. I'd say I'd give it for Mac, and during this era, I definitely got to give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 for sure. Also due to it being my favorite album of his. You think that it's his best album?
No, not at all.
Seriously? Studio album?
Yeah, my favorite studio album from him has to be. I don't know. It's tough, actually. I've just loved the new Mac, kind of the newer generation of Mac. I love him touching into that soft side and just evolving as an artist as a whole.
Okay, so and that's where I think I lost touch with him, you know, because I didn't know him for being. Which there's nothing wrong with that because there's a lot of artists that are just personal, have a lot of sad emo type, sad boy music, you know. But like I didn't. That's not the Mac that I know, you know. Like I'm the backpack type, like smoking trees type of Mac, you know, just like chilling, whatever he talked about before, you know, in Kids and watching movies and Macadelic. But I think that's where I'm distanced from as far as his music goes. Like it's just not me. Although I do love artists that like that type of stuff or that sing about that type of stuff, but. I think we could agree that he's in the 8 range.
Yeah, I'm fair with that. All right, so for the next album we got here, some of my newest pickups is that East Atlanta Love Letter by Black.
Yeah, this is a Black's second studio album. Of course, his first one being Black, but I think he really delivered on this one. He came back. You can tell it's more personal. You can tell just by the album art alone. He has his daughter on his chest, as it looks like he's recording in the booth. But he has some great features on here: Future, J. Cole, Offset, and Khalid, with Thugger's interlude as well.
Jesus
And
Christ.
I think it's just. I don't think Thugger's in that. Thugger's interlude. He's not in that. But
Just giving his respect to Thugger.
yeah, giving his respect to Thugger. You might as well say Thugger's in that. But just due to his influence is what I'm saying. But no, Black came and delivered. I expect a lot more from him coming forward. If this is his second album with these type of features and songs, I mean, J. Cole basically, that's J. Cole's song. And I think.
Yeah, I can't argue that.
Yeah.
Cole bodied that song.
Of course you can't.
His verse goes stupid. Everybody knows. I think Cole had the best year in 2018 as a whole.
I don't know.
But yeah, anyway, that's a whole nother video. That's a whole nother video. So what you about to give this album?
For it being his second album, I rate it high, but in general, as an album, I got to give it a 7.5.
So you just rating it as like an album total,
like compared to every other album.
Project as a whole.
I don't even know if I give it a 7. Then I give it a 7. 6.9.
See, I still gotta at least keep that in an 8. That's the lowest it's going for me is an 8, just because of all the songs on this project. This project is such a strong studio album, and like you said, like some rappers like dabble into their soft side. Like I saw a tweet one time. It said that JID and Black were the same person, but JID raps 80% of the time and sings 20%, and Black's singing 80% of the time and talking 20%. So I don't know.
That's pretty good. I mean, honestly, they sound very similar.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. But nah, I gotta at least give this album an 8. This album's a really strong album for him, and it's just a really strong album and held its spot in last year's releases.
I just think he'll release something better, and you'll have to downgrade this album for the next one that he releases.
Yeah, but we can't speak on that right now. So as of right now, what are you rating it?
That's what I'm saying. I give it a 7, so
Okay.
I have more room for his next album to come out. I think it'll be way more fire than this. But
well, we could agree on that. We'll just move to the next one. we could agree to disagree.
yeah,
All
I
right.
disagree.
So this next album right here, this is a classic right here. This is To Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick Lamar. This is one of the first records that I picked up, and this is really an underappreciated album. Kendrick is looked at for more of his like radio singles and more of his popular songs, but this album as a whole is just very underrated to me. I'm probably gonna give this. I gotta rate this at the beginning at least a 9. At least a 9 because of my two of my favorite songs on the album are You and I. I is such a strong song because it's so positive, and he's trying to relay positivity to everybody, describing how he loves himself, and it's just really slept on as a song to me because of the radio status it got and because of how old it got to some people. But this album is this song is one of the greatest on the album, and I also really relate to You because I like the clash between these two songs. You is him talking about like being suicidal and stuff, and just like talking about all his problems in life. But then he has I, and it just conflicts that, and he just has both those songs in the album, and it just really gives us a dive into Kendrick's like personal life, and he really is making music that entertains and allows us to interpret that stuff from it.
Yeah, this is like you said, a very slept on Kendrick album. People don't understand a lot of the meaning behind it. I mean, you have to really dig into it, and the length of the album is, I don't think there's a song on here there's one song that's below
4 minutes.
Yeah, 4 minutes basically. There's one that's 3:55, but and it's an interlude, and it's 2 minutes, so it's a very long listen, especially being 16 songs with an average of 4.2 probably, with the last song being 12 minutes. So it has a lot of meaning. I remember when it first came out, I heard a report somewhere. I don't know the credibility of the report, but it was saying that there was actually a school down south in the U.S. that was teaching this album as part of a curriculum. And
Crazy.
it's crazy because of the meaning behind it with the butterfly and what it represents, starting off as a caterpillar. If you listen to the album, which I encourage everyone to do at some point, if you haven't already, check it out again to find the deeper meaning that it has. It's very deep, and with Tupac being at the end and giving Kendrick sort of a pep talk, it seems like in the Mortal Man. It's an amazing album and a very slept on Kendrick album.
Without a doubt. So what you gonna rate that?
You gave it a 9. I think that's pretty high because he has. I don't think it's his best album. Maybe not even Experience either. You got to give it up to Mad City as his best. But I gotta give it a solid 8.7.
Okay, that's still fair enough.
That's high.
I don't know about you saying Mad City's the best. We could have a whole separate talk on
An
that.
album
but
experience.
we could have a whole separate talk.